Hello from sunny Albuquerque. I'm walking in a park in the city here and trying some new video types. We're going to try a few new things over the next few months and see. So today, I'm going to talk about cameras and more specifically automatic versus manual. This is for folks who are, dabbling in photography. I got a few thoughts after my recent trip to Europe, and going to show some pictures and just kind of talk about my experience. Now, I am not afraid to admit that on this last vacation, I rented a point-and-shoot camera. Now, not just any point-and-shoot, mind you. I did rent a Sony RX100, the newest one. And tell you what, that is a lot of camera in such a little body. It's kind of the most overdone camera I think I've ever seen. It's really cool. And I'm going to admit something that I don't think very many people who are quote-unquote professionals are willing to admit, but I shot an automatic the entire vacation, just about, almost the entire. And I think the results speak for themselves. If you look at some of the pictures, they look great. Anybody looking at these, if you didn't tell them, they would not think twice about how you shot these images. And I think that's the key to any type of photography or art, is the end result, not the process. For a lot of people, the process is interesting. I love the process. I love shooting manual. I will shoot manual, almost every scenario, of course, but this was just a case where, I wanted to capture stuff, but I didn't want to have to think too hard about it. And I really think there's something there. There's something to that. Now, before you're in the comments and saying, how dare you, or you can't, whatever someone's going to say, because everyone has strong opinions about photography, right? Yeah, what I'm about to say is going to ride against a lot of conventional wisdom, but I'm anything but conventional. But I think that shooting in automatic is quite okay if that's what you want to do. I don't see, if you're getting great results, and you like what you're getting, that's great. Most cameras, it really would be silly to buy a $4,000 camera and shoot an automatic, don't get me wrong, but if you're gonna buy something like the RX100 or some kind of little point and shoot, or with your iPhone shoot an automatic, you're gonna get, if you know how to frame a shot, you're gonna get results. So who cares, right? So, geez, look at these photos. This was a phenomenal camera. This is a phenomenal camera, $1,200, so very expensive, but this is a phenomenal camera. I think that people get overworked with photography and make it harder than it is. Also, this is super wide, so it's hard to see, but I'm pretty sure that's an LP supercell out there right now to my west. That's cool. So, as you walk with me, I think that one of the things that I see way too often in storm community, photography community, are people who tell you have to do something a certain way. You have to shoot with this brand of camera, which you don't. You have to have this sensor size, which you don't. You have to shoot manual, which you don't. In fact, the only thing I would say that you have to do with photography is to know how to compose a shot. You got to know how to place things in a frame. That's the bread and butter, if you don't know that. But you have to shoot with no noise, or you have to shoot this aperture. It's just ridiculous. It's hogwash. Making it harder than it is. Photography is actually easier than it's ever been. It's going to get easier too. Sorry to tell you, if you're on the fringe and threatened by that, everyone's going to be able to produce amazing photographs in the next 5 years. AI, cameras, etc., they're all converging on making photography insanely accessible And you're also just going to be able to type in a box and get a great photograph. And for use of all kinds of stuff. And where there used to be value, that there just isn't going to be anymore. I mean, it's just nature of it. Here's the thing that, no, this is probably going to take a lot of people off, but almost everybody, unless you've got a very specific use case, and I mean like you're doing museum or art gallery type of physical prints, like 80-90% of the people who view your work are viewing it on like something that's like that big. Like it's literally a screen, about an iPhone screen. A few more are going to look at it on a desktop, but very few people are going to see your work at such a huge scale that things like noise or even slightly off focus are like super noticeable to the average person. Like, it's just not going to matter. What's going to matter are how you put things in a shot, like how you frame things, how you simplify things, how you tell a story with your shot, how you pair your shots with other shots, like how you just, yeah, how it's going to pop off of a screen. Like, automatic versus manual is not going to matter. Like, you look at these shots, and if I post these online, which I will probably have done by the time I get this video up, people aren't going to be like, this was shot in automatic. They're not going to be like that. Like, no, they're not. And so, yeah, I think you don't want to put pressure on yourself that isn't there when it comes to photography. If you keep saying, I will be a pro or I will be great when, the answer to that is when I learn how to put things in a shot that makes it tell a story, gives it value, makes it easy for people to understand what you're trying to say. I mean, doesn't matter about the other stuff. The other techniques help you do that, help you tell a story, help you make that composition easier. And there are certainly, like, shooting manual will do that if you learn it. And I would encourage everybody to do that. But if you don't have time, you don't want to, you just want to shoot a picture, you're going to get amazing shots if you just learn how to frame and compose stuff, tell a story. Learn how the imagery you're creating helps with the story you're trying to tell. Do that. Everyone's looking at them on a little screen anyways. They're going to love it. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. Like, seriously, there's a storm's dying now, but that was a little supercell out there. There's another one right out there. Look at that. That one's got a wall cloud on it, looks like. That one's pretty robust. We're storm chasing. That's probably like 40 miles away. So that's so high base, it's not funny. So at the end of the day, like, make sure that whatever you're creating is great in telling a story. It's not chaotic, it's got a good composition, and you're gonna be fine. Don't overcomplicate this. Photography is for you. And yeah, telling stories, making great stuff. I mean, it's what it's about, right? So don't overcomplicate it, and you'll be okay. We'll see you next time.